Cinematic perspectives time, folks.
What up,
Cinematic
everyone?
perspectives.
Welcome to our little
Let
cut
me tell
of
you
the
something.
show.
Lindell was quiet in the comments, but I know Lindell's a Republican. That's a gun-toting American. Let me tell you something. Lindell definitely a motherfucking red-blooded Republican, or at least I assume. I definitely think that
Fair.
Lindell is
So,
a Republican because he's. So I'm thinking Lindell is sitting there in the comments like,
fair enough. All right, cinematic perspectives. This is the part of the show where we watch some trailers, we talk about them. These are all trailers that are coming out this week. So let us know in the comments if you happen to like the trailer and if you're going to watch the movie. And if you did, if you liked it. Also, we cutting this out and putting it on YouTube as its own standalone video. So if you're watching that, check the pinned comments and you are going to see the full podcast episode where we talk about a wild bunch of shit and a lot of Diddy news. On that note, let's get into the first trailer of the week, which I'm loading the link up for. I know. And boom. Well, that looks pretty good.
yes, yo. Dev Patel, he was what was the name of that movie again? Not Million Dollar Baby. The one where the guy played um Who Wants to Win $1 Million in a movie, and it was like Oscar nominated and shit like that. I forgot the name of it. Um, he's done a lot of shit, man. He's just a really good actor. I'm glad to see him direct. I'm curious to see what his directorial debut will look like. Slumdog Millionaire. There we go. Thank you, Bon
Yeah.
Bon. Bon Bon with the assist. Uh he was in Slumdog Millionaire. That was his first claim of fame. And then he did a bunch of great stuff after that. He's done nothing but great stuff. I'm really curious to see what his directorial debut will be like. At least I'm under the assumption. I don't think that I've seen anything that he's directed before this. Um, it looks good to me, man. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. I think it looks fun. I think it's got a sense of humor, charm, plus I feel like the perspective is going to be different than what we normally get for this type of movie while still hitting on the same beats to make you feel really good about watching it. It looks pretty good. I'd
yeah.
watch it. And Mel's,
I like the car.
that's what we were
I was sitting
expecting.
there like, you're not winning me over. I'm not. I'm not. Listen, we got one so far. We've watched maybe like, if we watch 3 trailers a week, we've easily watched more than 20 trailers together at this point. And we got one. So you're like 1 for 20, one out of 20 movies.
Five
You were like, yo,
percent.
I like this. I'll fuck with this. You know what I mean? And so what else can we ask for? Hollywood needs to just strive to impress you more. That's not your
Facts.
fault. Hollywood needs to get their shit together so they can impress you more. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's check out the second trailer. Whoops.
Yeah, yo, Parachute. Um, I'm not gonna lie. What man? I love fucking Kid Cudi, bro. Like this was like, oh, this is kind of cool, you know, whatever. And then I saw Kid Cudi and Dave Bautista. And I was like, so I'm all in. Hook me up. Let's get it. Also saw
Thought
Joe
that guy looked
McHale, who
familiar.
like he's one of the white boys that like I'm not gonna lie, I find him entertaining. Like I've found most of this, he was on Community. Joe McHale. I think that's his name. McHale. I don't know. Whitey White. Um. He was
Understandable.
on Community. Um and he does this new show that I really fuck with called Pest Control. And he generally does like pretty fun stuff. Oh, there's this other. Do you fuck with reality shows, Melz? There's this
Yeah.
reality show called House of Villains. That was amazing. They had nothing but like they had New York, Bobby Lights, what's the one that worked for Trump? Um,
Amaretto?
uh, Omarosa,
Oh,
Omarosa. Amorata, you came close. You got me right there. You got me in the ballpark. I drove it home.
Oh god.
They had a bunch of just like reality star villains doing like competitions against each other to see who's like the best villain, and it was incredible. And Joe McHale was the host of that show,
Gotta
and
see
he was
this.
great as the host. It was a really good show. Like I was like, oh shit, I like this. I watched another season of this. Especially after watching Trader, like it felt kind of like Trader-ish, and I like Trader. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. I like it. I like it. I think it looks like it's gonna be a solid 6 out of 10 for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, I'm
Like, I
definitely
think
gonna be happy about the fact that I'm supporting Kid Cudi more than anything.
I like the fact, like, it looks interesting. It seems like it's touching bases on a lot of how some women feel. Me, typically, no. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
accept every curve, and either you're gonna deal with it, or you're gonna get the fuck out of here, like point blank, period. But it does look interesting. I don't know if it's something I could sit there and watch for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That be my problem. But it definitely looks like give it a go. I might
Give it
try.
a
If
go.
I get past the 10 minutes, then I might sit there longer.
Flacco knew something was coming when he brought up his speech earlier about how if we can get one in, we're winning. And he's like, I know it's coming. We got 2 in, just like that. But no, this looked like a really honest movie. It doesn't look like the
Mm-hmm.
goal is to sensationalize the topic. It looks like it understands the topic. It probably is written / produced with people that have lived that experience. And then
Mm-hmm.
it touches on some interesting shit like how to love somebody that's putting themselves through that and real things that never come up in the pop version of the conversation. So I'm sure it really is a valuable movie and worth watching just for the sake of like seeing that perspective that doesn't get put out very often. And it looks good. I think it will be a solid 6. It's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do with almost no surprises.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
I like
All
that.
right. The third trailer. Whoops.
I'm gonna change my headphones. They're about to die. 20%.
20%.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not.
a no for me, dog.
Listen, this is one of those movies where I truly believe in 6 months after it comes out, a bunch of people are going to be on social media talking about how it's the most amazing shit ever and how you got to watch it and like hyping it up like the cultured movie snob type. Like, it's going to be their shit. I'm still not going to want to watch it because I never liked those movies. And it looks really horror suspensey. Is the plot premise more interesting than others? Yeah. It looks like they tried hard to come up with a cool premise. It's just not my genre.
Yeah, it's definitely my genre for sure. I'm a sci-fi guy. Anything like alien, anything like space, anything like some fictional shit happening here on Earth, I'm all in. I saw that it was written. It was either between. It was between this and there was 2 movies that are books. It was between this and Ripley on Netflix that's coming out this weekend, which is also based on
Chris is saying it's
the
based on an anime, and then I just googled. There is a manga and there's an animated series.
yeah, and I saw that this was based on a manga, or based on something published by something, right? And that immediately told me, right. So we're talking about books here. I figured it was a manga. Um, uh, I don't know. It looks good to me. Um, I love foreign movies like this. I talked about like how I often watch foreign sci-fi. The choice was between this and Ripley. And I was just like, let's go with this instead of Ripley.
That's fair. I think it's the horror part of it that I'm less. The sci-fi part of aliens and shit's cool. The shock scare, jumping out part, I'm less into that.
Yeah, I'm definitely into this whole like split heads aliens thing. That shit is crazy. They had one of them do the flower thing from Pan's Labyrinth. That they were kind of like that flower thing from Pan's Labyrinth. I like special effects like that, shit like that. I feel like shit like that ends up pushing other great movies in America in a direction to be able to think outside of that box. Korea has done a great job. Korea and Japan has done a great job influencing America just by being themselves and not trying to do what American movies do and what Hollywood does. Bollywood, actually, I guess all of Asia, when you think about it, right? Because like they're all just doing them. Like even Bangkok, even Ang Bak out of Thailand, right? Like we're still like all these countries in Asia are like just not trying to follow America's lead. And by doing that and just doing what they want to do, they end up doing shit that we're like, oh shit, we should make a remake of that for Americans that don't want to read closed captions for a whole movie. Yeah.
Right.
Last trailer is a Whoopsie trailer. Whoopsie! I didn't realize that this was this week in that passed.
What?
I forgot. That was like a major trailer. I was under the impression it was coming out April 12th. They changed the date on it, and I never noticed that they changed the date on it. So, yeah.
And that's the collab I never expected.
I mean, this is the second time. Like, this is their second movie together. Godzilla vs. Kong. Or Kong vs. Godzilla?
Like so that's the expectation. That's less of a collab. That's more of a, they fight.
Right.
This is the collab because they got the X now, like the fashion line
but
team up.
Yeah, true. But like at the end of that movie, they collabed on beating I forget Tech Godzilla, Tech Godzilla's name, whatever his name is, the robot Godzilla, Robozilla, I don't know, Cyborgzilla, I don't know, something like that. Like they had to beat him the first movie.
Just say Techzilla. Chris is saying
CC said Techzilla. Yeah, so they already
and
collabed.
They're
on
teaming
the
up
movie. Now it's
to
super
fight
team up
against the Kong Empire or whatever.
Unnamed enemies. What I'm noticing, it looks like it's gonna be a 2 versus 2. It looks like they gotta beat up the guy who's gonna beat up Kong together, and then Kong has to help Godzilla beat the villain that he couldn't beat by himself. I'm
glad this IP is still alive and popping.
Big movie. Like one of the biggest movies I'm sure that we'll have all year. I'm sure that at the end of the year, this will rake in more dollars than a majority of the movies. It'll be top 10. I'm gambling it'll be top 5 financial like successful movies of the year.
I agree. I'm probably not going to watch it though.
You're probably not going to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm invested in this universe, same as I'm invested in the Marvel universe. I'm like into getting invested in universes.
Like I respect the universe. I think it's interesting lore. I think it goes real. It's like way more than it looks on the surface. I don't know. I watched the one with the Diddy song in it back in the day. That Godzilla with Cat and
that's the Godzilla movie that Godzilla fans are like. That's the Godzilla movie that doesn't exist to them. Like that's the one Godzilla movie that they're like, oh, that's not a real Godzilla movie. Let's just erase that. I've even seen memes of like every Godzilla in a movie, like from back in the days, the old puppet ones, like pictures of all the Godzillas, and that one Godzilla is one of the 2 that they X'd out. I forget what the other Godzilla is that they X'd out, that it's like, oh, these 2 shall not be named. But like they count, and it's crazy to me because I look at those old Godzilla movies with like, I think Bonnie asked me once about Starman or Ultraman, and like all those series to me, like all that stuff from back in the days is absurd. Like I've never enjoyed the old Godzilla, that old Ultraman stuff. Old Power Rangers was also absurd to me. Like all that shit is just absurd to me. You know what I'm saying? But like they take pride in all those Godzillas, but they don't take pride in that fucking one with the Puff
Right.
song on the soundtrack. Like that's the one that they're like, that's the Godzilla movie that he who shall not be named type
Right.
shit. You know what I mean? Like
Fair
crazy.
enough.
I was like, what? I actually
Melz,
enjoyed that Godzilla.
you gonna watch it, Melz?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Fair.
I'm not into
All
stuff
right.
like that.